feel self-conscious and shiny. Shiny, shiny, shiny. Okay. Hey, I'm in a slightly different position today. It feels a little weird. So last week I was gonna film my monthly favorites. I love filming my monthly favorites. I think it's so fun to talk about the things that you've just been like really into, whether like they're random or not. And I got sick, so I couldn't film. So I uploaded my lunch video last week, and I just thought, how could I do favorites? I don't really want to skip it, but what I was thinking on Saturday when I felt like pure garbage all day, I thought, what if I took this little stash that I have next to me in my chair and showed you what I love. So I'm gonna do kind of a combo, like I got sick already, back to school for a week, and I've already been sick, favorites, but also just a couple of my favorites from this last month, but really they're mostly stuff from when I was sick. So to start off with, I had a bunch of little so I love products, obviously. If you've watched any of my other favorites, I always have like makeup products, whatever. And I think when you're ill, you're not feeling well in whatever way, not just with a cold, with your period, with flu, whatever, sometimes those little products, those little things can really make you feel better. I have a little slew of hydrating products. I was blowing my nose a ton. My eyes were kind of like streamy. Nose was getting dry. Feeling very like sinus pressury, and I found some really good stuff. So the one thing that I was going to mention in my favorites, even prior to me getting sick, was the Cocoa Kind My Matcha Stick. I have seen this on social media a lot. It's this little green hydration stick. It reminds me of an old Crabtree and Evelyn product, kind of like their avocado line, if you've ever smelled that. The only ingredients are extra virgin coconut oil, organic, beeswax, and matcha tea powder. This brand is awesome. They have just like really, really clean products, and this has been awesome for me. I like swipe it on when my eyes get so dry, like the skin around my eyes, and when I'm in a lot of air conditioning, my eyeballs get very dry and they start to stream, which makes my skin very irritated. So I swipe this on at night, I swipe it on in the morning, whatever. I also would use this on my nose. However, I didn't swipe it on my nose as I was like sick. I just kind of got it all over my fingertips, wiped it on my nose. Any dry patches, I've used it on my elbow before. This is super awesome, and it's like $7.99, and for such a good product, awesome. You can use it on your lips and stuff too. The other one is one I've mentioned before, this Badger Balm Headache Soother. It has eucalyptus and lavender in it. I love this when I have migraines. I like rub it on my temples, I rub it across here, and then you can like really massage, and it feels a little tingly, and it feels so nice. And I did that when I was feeling a lot of sinus pressure. I was just like, I like swiped this all across my face, and was just really, it helped a lot, and the scent, because it's eucalyptus, helped a little bit as well. The other one is kind of random. I got the Milk Makeup Cooling Water in my, I'm sorry, that's a little overexposed, in my Sephora Play box, I think earlier this year, and I never really liked it. I hadn't actually like used it that much, but I didn't care for it at all because it doesn't really feel like it does anything. So I want to preface this with that. But it is cooling, in fact, but it's not cooling in a minty way. It's cooling in a whatever's in this makes your skin feel cool. I would imagine it's similar to like that water powder, Becca water powder. I can't remember what it's actually called, Hydra powder. But it literally, it feels like you've got like a primer on your skin afterwards, but it doesn't feel hydrating at all, and that feeling goes away. It obviously has a silicone in it, but I kept putting this on under my eyeballs a lot when it was just like so bad feeling. I loved it. I made my boyfriend try it. He did not appreciate it. But this was super awesome, and I was so glad to have it because it feels so nice, and I'll probably keep using it for that reason. 2 more hydration products and then we'll be done. So one thing that I've used off and on for a little while is the Weleda skin food. This is the smaller 30 ml container. I'm sorry, I don't know if you can see that. I'm at such a weird angle. It is like a green beauty balm. It comes out in this kind of like, it has a similar texture to any kind of balm, but it's like a creamy texture. You can see there's that little white dot. I use this. Some people use this all over their face. I cannot. It makes my forehead break out. But I do use this as a balm. My elbows get quite dry, especially when I'm doing a lot of yoga for some reason. My yoga mat like irritates my skin. So I'll use that on that, but I also would use it around my nose and honestly like kind of like inside my nose where it starts to get raw. That sounds disgusting, but you know. And I also pulled out a sample of the Tarte maracuja oil. This stuff, I kind of blew this off. I never really paid attention to it. It's literally just maracuja oil. Toby, hello. Toby jumps at everything. He's like obviously had some trauma in his life at some point and he jumps all the time. So anyway, so this is unscented, whatever, which I found was so helpful when I was sick. I am so like averse to any fragrance since I've been sick. And this was really nice and I was able to kind of slather it again around my nose. And it felt like it was heavy enough to kind of help that dry skin, but also not irritated. It didn't burn, it didn't do anything, it hasn't made me break out. I used it all over my face today, in fact, and I really liked it. Okay, so now I'm gonna move on to the food and drink portion. I don't really love to do cough drops that much. Sometimes when your throat is really hurting, you need cough drops, and I just go for the standard strawberry halls are my normal ones, but I don't like to ingest a lot of those, so something I rely on is ginger candies. Now this isn't unopened, I didn't have this kind, but I love Chimes and I love the Gingy brand, is that what it's called? Gingins brand. They will sometimes have hard candies of them. I really like the hard candy version when I'm ill, but these are really nice too, the chewy ones. Ginger candies are very odd if you've never tried them. I wasn't sure about them when I first started eating them, but now I love them, especially the peanut butter flavor. It's a slightly cleaner ingredient list, and I feel like when you're really, really ill, it helps to have like nice, clean foods. I really focused on eating as healthy as that I could. I believe I had French fries one night from Chick-fil-A. We had French fries, but then I made myself a salad on the side because I really think when you're ill, it's so, so important to watch what you're eating, and I really avoided dairy. I'm typically pretty dairy free anyway, but sometimes like more recently I've been a little more like loose with that. Doesn't always go well. Sometimes I feel so icky after I eat dairy, but I know that it really can encourage like mucus and stuff like that. So once I knew I was actually getting sick, I didn't do dairy, and I feel like watching what I'm eating, drinking lots of clear fluids, and not doing dairy at all really helped, because I'm only on day 5 and I feel like I'm like 95% better. I just have a little bit of like, I'm kind of tired, and I'm still having to blow my nose just a little bit, but not a lot. So I feel like I got off pretty well with that. 2 other food items. Speaking of clear fluids, I did a lot of water, but I also did 2 other things. Let me reach for it. One thing was kombucha. I did continue, this isn't clear, but it's a very good for you beverage. I love the gingerade. I had a watermelon one yesterday, and I feel like, you know, putting this good bacteria into your body is a really good choice, especially if you're getting tired of drinking a lot of water or something like that. The other thing I did was I got the Bonafide Provisions bone broth. The turkey one, this is the first time I've ever tried the turkey one, and it is my favorite. It was so, so good. This stuff is expensive. It's $8.99 for this bag typically at my natural grocers. And realistically, there's only about 2 coffee cup size, like just standard coffee cup size portions in here. So that's quite expensive. It is like going to a Starbucks or something. But oftentimes I just buy this when it's on sale. So I bought this a couple weeks ago when it was on sale at Natural Grocers for $4.59. And so I just will buy a couple of them typically when they go on sale, because it's really good. It's such good ingredients. The brand is really great. just super, super clean. And again, like when you're, apparently it's Whole30 approved. It says that on the back here. Oh yeah, it says Whole30.com. I had no idea. It comes frozen in your frozen aisle, and I really do think this is worthwhile for drinking, especially if you're gonna do bone broth. You might as well do a really good one. So the only other two things I'm gonna mention was my favorite books from last month. To All the Boys I Loved Before. Are you surprised by this at all? Probably not, because I talked about it a lot in my What I Read. I really liked this. This would be a great read and a great movie to watch when you are sick. I did not do either. I watched Orange is the New Black. I finally finished it. OMG. Have you watched the new season? My heart was like broken. I felt like the ending it wasn't like a huge cliffhanger ending, but it was like the worst ending of that show so far that I can recall. It just like, my heart broke, and I would love to hear other people's opinions. Maybe personal message me, no spoilers, but that was a great show to watch the last few episodes of when I was sick. So that's it. Those are my random favorites. I hope you enjoyed the ride of me talking about how I hate fragrance and only want to put moisturizing products on my face. So let me know any of your favorites recently, any of your like key things that you do when you get really sick to make yourself feel better, even if they don't make you actually like heal faster, the things that make you feel better. I feel like that's with kombucha for me. Like, it just makes me feel better. I don't know that it does anything for colds, but I like it and it's good for me. So yeah, I hope that you had a great August. I hope that September finds you in a good place. And I'm moving in 4 days, and I was sick all weekend, which was not convenient timing. So the next time I film, I will probably be in a new location, which is so weird and crazy, and we'll see how that goes. So I will TTYL. Goodbye.